Is it possible to feel nostalgic for a memory you never had? Young Folks by Peter, Bjorn and John feels like a time and place you can't really put your finger on. It feels like being young and falling in love, and this feeling of endless possibilities. But how? How can a song about two people meeting at a party feel like so much? I mean, it's just a song, right? It's got drums and bass and guitar and that whistle, but what is it doing? What is this song doing that makes it feel so special? Well, I'm gonna recreate it to find out. Thanks to Novation for sponsoring this video. So we're gonna start off with the drums because that's how the song starts. But the problem is, this song is using a live drum set, and I don't have a live drum set. So how can I get fake drums to sound like real drums? I could scroll through thousands of samples trying to find the perfect ones that sound natural together and sound like an actual person playing an instrument, but I think there's a better way. This is a recording of a person playing an actual drum set. So all I have to do is grab a simpler in Ableton and then take this drum loop and go ahead and just drop it in. Now I've got an entire drum set laid out on my keyboard. So I've got this sequencer running here and I can just start to program in where the drum hits go. And I think we just need a ghost note for the snare. Then we just need to bring in a hi-hat. Woo! That actually sounds like a real drum set to me, but we're still missing a very important element. It's this shaker. It is really prominent in the mix, but it provides a ton of groove and this feeling of like forward momentum and speed. You can tell there's a little bit of room noise as well. Bruh. But there's one more element to these drums, and I bet it's something that you never even noticed. It's this subtle, super splashy spring reverb. This is like one of the simplest tricks of production. Little elements, like the shaker or the reverb, that you can bring in and take out at different times to create different feelings in the song. So this is with the reverb, without, with. So if you want the verse to be very intimate, you can take out the reverb and take out the shaker, and it feels like you're closer almost to the song. But then when the chorus comes, you can bring the shaker back in, bring the reverb back in, and suddenly it feels bigger, there's more things going on, but it's nothing new going on. It's really just bringing in something that they're already familiar with at the perfect moment to create an effect on the listener and an effect on the feeling of the song. Alright, get this out of here. It's time to move on to the bass. But there's something wrong with my bass right now. At least something that we have to change to get the right sound for the song. It's this thing. The bass in Young Folks is muted, but I can't play a muted bass with this shield on here, so I'm gonna need to take it off. Honestly, it's kind of weird seeing my bass naked like this. Like, it feels like you're not supposed to look at this part of the bass. So if I just lay my hand on the bridge, but I'm feeling kind of lazy, so I'm just gonna take this cloth and shove it under my strings. Now that we've got our naked bass all muted up, I guess it's time to play it. When I sat down to start rebuilding this, I immediately hit a problem. The tempo is all over the place. I mean, look at this. This is the tempo map. It literally is all over the place. So it turns out that this song was never recorded to a click, and the band confirmed this. Pretty much every modern song you hear is locked to the grid. It's got a consistent tempo that doesn't change throughout the song. And it's gotten to the point that this is just what music sounds like to us now. So when you hear something that isn't, it sounds old. I'm talking about like Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles. They generally did not record to a click, and you can feel that in the music. And when you listen to this song, it feels alive. It reminds you of a time before technology took over music, and before it took over our lives. And now it's time to move on to what might be one of the most important parts of this song. The whistle. But there's a problem, because I can't whistle. So I need to see if I can make a synthesizer sound like a real person whistling. So we're going to start off with a sine wave. But if you think about the mechanics of whistling, there's a tone being created by wind passing through your lips. So if I turn the noise on, it's going to be kind of distracting. So all we have to do is really turn the volume down here. And then I'm going to grab a vibrato. That sounds like a bird, but I'm hoping that we can get something more like a human here. And the icing on the cake is going to be reverb. And it turns out that when you add reverb to this synthesizer, it really covers up a lot of the unnaturalness about it. Got to talk about the whistle. It's the most famous part of this whole song, and it was never actually supposed to be there. Okay, that's not entirely true, but it was never supposed to be a whistle. Bjorn just whistled this melody on the spot to remember it, but they had assumed that they were going to replace it with a synthesizer later. Obviously, they never did. But I think that's part of the magic of this song. Whistling is so casual, I mean, it's almost naive. It's the sound of someone walking down the street with nothing on their mind. At the very end of this intro section, we hear for the first time guitar, but it's not playing any notes. It's actually like the same function as a drum fill. But this song is so interesting because it doesn't use a drum fill. The drums basically play the same pattern the entire song. So it uses this subtle little guitar move as the same function as the drum fill. And then we move on to the first verse, and instrumentally, it's pretty much the same as the intro section that we just finished. But we're gonna pull out some of these elements to make it feel more intimate. So the shaker is gone, the drum reverb is gone, and of course the whistle is gone, but that'll be replaced by the main vocal. So in terms of vocal performance, all these 2000s pop songs have like these kind of mousy voiced singers, and they sound great, but they're not making my life any easier, that's for sure. But the nice thing is that vocally, he's not like an amazing singer, but like in like a very charming way. The performance is like a little bit nasally and a little bit breathy, so I'm gonna try my best to get a similar vocal tone.
If I told you things I did before, told you how I used to be, would you go along with someone like me? If you knew my story word for word, had all of my history, would you go along with someone like me?
And the use of this phrase, go along with someone like me, is so interesting. It feels like it's like from the 50s or 60s. I think you could just tell that these are not native English speakers. Like this is English as a second language because this band is from Sweden. And then we move on to the second half of the first verse. And at this point we realize that this song is a duet. When we introduce this new character and this new perspective, we're also going to introduce a new instrument to go along with that. It's this nice, very soft, subtle synthesizer. And it doesn't immediately come in, it actually fades in over the course of Victoria's half of this verse. But I'll play these chords in now, and I want you to hear how much they alter the emotional tone of the song, with just 2 notes being played at a time. What? Oh, my keyboard? This beauty is the Novation Launch Key Mark IV. This is a chord bank. It's basically a group of 8 different chords that you can play just by pressing the pad. And you've got 40 times 8. 4 times 8 is 3. That's 320 chords that you can choose from. So if you ever don't know where to start or you're feeling stuck in a song, this keyboard gives you tools to help you find new ideas, and especially ideas that you may never have thought of before. Now I'm going to move back to the arpeggiator, so I could just play a chord in and have it repeat. And all of these knobs are mapped to different functions, so you can mess with the speed and even add randomness without ever touching your computer. That's a really cool effect. Now if I start to turn this mutate knob, it's gonna add other notes on top of this arpeggiator. It's like intelligently picking new notes to add based on the notes that you've already played. It really is like somehow like a magic feature. Ooh. Honestly, I've barely scratched the surface of all the different features that this keyboard has. This really is made by people that make music, for people that make music, and you can tell when you're using it that it was really thoughtfully designed. So anyway, I really like this keyboard. There's a link in the description. Thank you, Novation, for sponsoring this video. So initially, Peter, Bjorn and John were going to get the vocalist from the Cardigans to sing on this song, but they lost her phone number. So they called up Victoria Bergsman from the Concretes. And in terms of her vocal performance on this song, it's very similar in many ways to Peter's. Hers is a little bit more breathy. I'm just going to try to replicate this sort of breathy, airy style that Victoria is bringing.
Heard it before and had my share. It didn't lead nowhere. I would go along with someone like you. It doesn't matter what you did, who you were hanging with. We can stick around and see this night through.
The way these vocals are sung is so understated, it almost feels more like a conversation than a performance. But if you actually look at what they're saying, it's not really a conversation at all. I think you're hearing what they're feeling more than what they're saying. I mean, just look at this. What he's really saying is, if you really knew me, would you still want me? And that's a fear we've all felt. So these characters stop feeling like 2 specific people at a distance from you. They could be anyone. They could be you. The whole first half of this song has been building up to the chorus. So how do Peter, Bjorn, and John make that payoff worth it? So we're going to bring in a few new sounds, but we'll start off with the keys. Not only are we adding more instruments, we're also increasing the amount of notes that these instruments are playing. So really you could see everything is like just building on top of itself and creating this compounding effect. But the real spaciousness of this chorus doesn't come from these keys. It's the guitar again. Oh man. Sure. So this time we're actually going to be playing notes with this guitar, which is refreshing. But it sounds kind of weird with just the guitar on the left side of the speakers. So a lot of songs make a guitar part sound big by multi-tracking it. Basically, they play a part once and put it on the left side of the speakers. Then they play that same part again and put it on the right side of the speakers. But this song takes a different approach. We're gonna put the guitar on the left side of the speakers and a spring reverb on the right side of the speakers. But when I said that this chorus was spacious, I meant it. So we're gonna need to bring in another reverb. It just adds so much depth and space to the song. And we're only gonna play these two chords, but we're gonna pick them really hard to create this almost emotional impact when they come in. And it's strange because there's 4 chords, but the guitar only plays during the first 2, and then it just takes a back seat for the second 2 bars of the chorus. I don't know why they did it like that. It's weird, but one thing I will say is that it gives you time for the chords to be impactful again when they come back in. But you probably noticed that we don't have any drums yet. And mainly, these drums are exactly the same as everything we've heard so far. Except for one element. Maybe I'm weird, but this is my favorite part of the entire song. It's these bongo drums. And they're bongos, not congas. Not that I know the difference between the two. But these bongos bring so much speed and energy to this song. But they're sounding a little dry and flat. So first I'm going to bring in a convolution reverb. And then I'm going to do something that is generally considered the wrong thing to do. I'm going to put a distortion after the reverb. So let's listen to these bongos on their own, and then bring the drums in, and then we'll bring in the rest of the track. Oh, I forgot about the bass. I completely forgot. Alright, so in keeping with the theme of increased energy, this bass is going to stop being muted. On the surface, this song sounds like a specific moment in 2 people's lives, but I think it's actually more like a Rorschach test. The closer you look, the more the specificity falls away, until you realize that it's actually kind of empty. The meaning is not inherent in the work itself, but it allows you to bring your own meaning to the work. And you do. Without noticing it, you fill the song with your own memories and your own people and your own nights. So, the next time that you listen to this song, ask yourself, whose memory are you really hearing?
And we don't care about the young folks talking about the young style. And we don't care about the old folks talking about the old style too. And we don't care about our own folks talking about our own style. All we care about is talking over me and you.
If you're still here, thank you for watching this video, seriously. I hope you enjoyed it. This one was kind of a big swing for me, but I'd love to hear any of your own memories or thoughts about this song in the comments. And you know what? This video right here actually looks kind of good, weirdly. I mean, looks really good actually.